Hello, income makers, growers, and harvesters. XPAY. Today, we're going to talk about this exchange traded fund, which is providing you a target 20% managed distribution. They are targeting to provide 20% distributions per year. And this is from the Round Hill Fund House. Of course, this is no financial advice. We are going to talk about this fund, understand how it works. At the same time, I'm going to give you a comparison of this fund with the SPYT exchange traded fund from Defiance. So stay tuned for more updates. So first, let's look at this fund, understand how it works, and then we go to the details of each of them. XPAY is from the Round Hill Fund House, and this is called the S&P 500 Target 20 Managed Distribution ETF. So basically, this fund is designed to pay monthly return of capital distributions to shareholders and at annualized rate of 20%, and the distributions are paid monthly. It's an actively managed fund, and I'll tell you how the fund strategy works later on. But let's quickly go through and understand what are the basic features. So XPay seeks to offer monthly distribution payments to shareholders at the rate of 20% annualized, tax efficient. It seeks to target 100% return of capital distributions. I'm not an expert on tax, so you may want to take advice on this part of it. The information that they are telling you is that they are providing return of capital too, which can have an impact on the price of the fund or net asset value and total return potential. See, objective of the fund, the secondary objective is to provide exposure to the return of the index composed of US listed large cap equities. So basically, it is linked to the index, so follows the index. If the index does well, probably it's going to follow it in the positive direction. And if the index is going to go down, it's going to follow down the same way. So that's how the fund is designed. Ticker symbol is XPay. Expense ratio is 0.49%. I think this is pretty attractive for an active fund. Assets under management 27 million, not that high. And the fund is fairly new, it's just October 2024 it has been launched. So I don't think it's that, you know, old or that much of track record so far. It's just 7 months so far. Too early to make any judgment. It's a newer fund and still has a long way to go. And if you look at the holdings, it's basically they have different call options. And this can give you some idea of the strategy. They're basically buying future deep in the money call options. So I'll give you a quick idea of it. Like if I look at the summary prospectus, it says that the fund intends to invest substantially in purchased call SPY flex options that are deeply in the money. Deeply in the money meaning the calls are actually profitable for the buyer. Basically, the in the money calls which are below the current market level at the time of investment. So these positions seek to provide the full exposure to the returns of the S&P 500 index. So they buy these in the money calls to replicate the movement of the index. Instead of buying the index exchange traded fund, they buy the deep in the money calls. That's the difference. For more information on flex option, please see the section of the prospectus. So they're just giving other resources if you want to check it out. This is the summary prospectus of XPay. So you can go to the XPay page and you can find the summary prospectus. Um, it will be available to you. And the fund's performance, if you look at it, like currently the price is $52, and we will look at the performance later on in the spreadsheet. But so far, the fund has been slightly eroding, not much, but it has been giving very decent amount of yield. And distributions, if you look at it, it says 22%. We'll check that. And let me show you the distribution here. From November 2024 to current, we see distributions are like around 95, 96, or 97 cents. It's pretty tight in that range. So distributions don't vary so much. It's more or less at the same level, and it's pretty consistent, pretty tight. So you can expect to receive something around 95 cents. No guarantees, but it seems to be pretty consistent based on the past few months. Let me quickly go take you through the other fund before we jump into the comparison. The other fund we are looking at, Contender for XPay, is SPYT. SPYT. So this is from the Defiance, you know, company, the Defiance Fund House. The name is Defiance S&P 500 Income Target ETF. The reason I chose this fund is because I have been tracking this fund, which has been doing decent, and the strategy is very interesting, and they are providing 20% return per annum, similar to the previous one. So the 20% target distribution is the strategy that is common between these two funds. However, the way the strategy is being executed is little different. Okay, let's look at the details how they do that. SPYT is an actively managed ETF dedicated to generating current income. Strategy revolves around holding shares that track the S&P 500 and engage in selling of daily credit call spreads on the index. Okay, so our operation strategy involves selling an option while simultaneously buying another call option at a higher strike price. So by focusing on short-term option, we offer enhanced yield. So basically what they do is they buy a call option, they sell a call option and simultaneously buy another call option. So they sell a call option at the current market level or somewhere around that level roughly, and buy another call option at a higher strike price. So this will generate higher premium, and this will be like an option purchased. So basically you are paying premium, which is slightly lower because it's at a higher strike price. So the higher premium sold and the lower premium bought will lock in the difference, which is the profit for the fund. So that is how they make the call spread. So that is how the call spread strategy works. I saw the word call spread somewhere here. Yeah, credit call spreads. The credit comes in because you're selling at a higher price and buying at a lower price. Okay, that's the simple way of explaining it. Okay, fund details. The price is 17.46 and net assets 100 million, 107 million. So it's a pretty bigger fund. And this was launched more than 1 year ago, like March 2024. Now we are in May 22nd, so it's almost like um, more than a year as we are doing this recording. Pretty interesting fund, and they have an expense ratio of 0.87. And the fund has five holdings. Let's look at the holdings quickly. Basically, it's the IVV, which is the iShares Core S&P 500 ETF. So they are holding the S&P 500 exchange traded fund. So they're physically holding the fund, not like the previous one where they have deep in the money calls. Here they hold the physical exchange traded fund as the main holding. Plus they write calls here. So the calls are written at 5844 here, and they make this money. And another call is written as 5856, and this is the money paid. So they lock in the difference, which is the profit for the fund. And of course, they also have cash, plus they have some funds in the government securities. So this is the portfolio of Defiance. This fund pretty simple to understand, not that difficult. And when you look at the distributions, this is where the performance comes into play. And April 2025, you can see 28 cents, 29 cents before that. Recently, it has dropped down a little bit. I think that has something to do with the recent market downturn, and even the price of the fund has fallen down. But let's look prior to that. So when I look at the previous history, like March 2024 onwards, in 2024, more or less, it is around 33 or 34 cents. Sometimes 32. It's pretty tight, pretty consistent. And in 2025, also, the beginning of it, it was pretty good. From February onwards, slightly it started dropping, and March and April were not so good. It's fallen down a little bit. However, the yields are not low. Yield is still around 20%. I will compare the yields myself because I don't want to go by the published numbers here. So now that we have seen the features of both funds, let's do a comparison now side by side so that you can get a clear picture which one is good or which one you may want to consider. One thing that I want to mention is SPYT has a longer history. So, I have a slight bias, or I like this fund more than the XPAY. But I like the XPay because roundhill funds are also pretty good in terms of the strategies, in terms of the way they execute the strategies. So it's like a it's almost equal, but I have a slight bias towards SPYT in this case. I'm going to compare it on the spreadsheet. I'm just going to switch over here to my spreadsheet. Okay, I start with XPay first. XPay, the current price is 52.86. It was launched back in October and the price was 58.19. So when you look at the capital appreciation, it's 9.2%. So it lost so much. And this is 7 months, and dividend yield was 12.7% for 7 months. So I'm making some assumption here. These are not real numbers, these are based on my estimate for 1 year. And I'm looking at past performance for 7 months. And in future, things may change a lot. So, disclaimer, this is only my own analysis of the past performance. So, not financial advice, not indicator of future performance, because this is a very new fund. Things can change rapidly. When I look at the distributions, like it's around 95, 97 cents, 96, around that range. So, based on this, my yield annualized comes to 21.8%. The 7 months is 12.7, annualized is 21.8. Capital appreciation, we don't know how it's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as last 7 months. So minus 9.2, I've taken it as such. I don't think it's going to blow up like in 12 months, it's not going to be like 12% instead of 9%. I don't think so. So I'm just assume the same minus 9.2% rather than trying to analyze it. So this is how I have done it. Like if you have any other better method of doing it, or if you have other thoughts or opinions, please drop in your comments below. I like to hear that. Okay, now moving on to the next area, we have okay. So next we have SPYT. I will just explain SPYT briefly. The same thing. The current price is 17.78, and 1 year ago it was $20. It was supposed to be $20 as the base price, but once it opens in the market, it can go up and down. So that's what happened. And in this case, the fund lost about 11% 1 year. And in terms of dividend, they made 21.9%, which is commendable. And that brings us to total returns of 10.7%. Whereas if you look at XPay, they made 12.6% plus 21.8 and minus 9.2, 12.6. So almost close, like it's probably 1% or 1 or 2% difference. We will look into that and compare it on the next screen. So we have looked at the returns the previously. Now I'm just comparing the basic features. So the base price for these two funds was, $50 for XPay and $20 for SPYT. That is before they launched. So that's where it was, set at when they designed the fund. And target returns was 20% for both of them, and that is common. And distribution frequency is also monthly for both of them. And strategy for XPay is different. They buy deep in the money flex S&P options, and appreciation of the option is what brings in the income. And SPYT sells options and buys a deep out of money call option. So they sell the at the money option and buy the out of money call option. So that creates a call spread or a profit. Expense ratio is little less for the XPay and higher for the SPYT. And when you look at the capital appreciation part of it, again, XPay numbers are not actual; it is estimated. SPYT numbers are actual. So SPYT made 10.7% total returns, which is still good, not bad. Like double-digit returns, good. Even for a call spread, it's a pretty good return, and it's less risky. SPYT is not going to lose money so much because they are hedged in terms of the positions. XPay they made slightly higher, but these are estimates. This could be wrong. So difference in return is about 1.9% roughly. What explains the difference in return? Higher fee for SPYT. SPYT has a higher fee. XPay has a lower fee. That could be the difference. And in call spread strategy, the gains are limited. Of course, the risk is also limited. And higher potential gains were realized in the XPay's strategy of deep in the money. So that's explains the difference in terms of the higher returns. And last but not the least, I am just putting a disclaimer here that there is a possibility that actual return of XPay can differ from you know a SPYT, because once it completes 1 year, we'll know the true picture. I am assuming that XPay might probably match SPYT in terms of returns because it has a bit of a higher risk, but at the same time, it also has the ability to capture higher returns. So it's a kind of a trade-off. So I think by the time it completes 1 year, it will be almost matching the returns of SPYT. The returns will drop down a little bit. That's my um, assumption. We don't know. In future, anything can happen. If you have any other ideas or similar funds which have a target returns, drop in your comments and feedback below. I will try to cover that in the next video. And I hope you like this video and keep watching Harvesting Income. Happy investing. Thank you.